Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to Ace Attorney, episode 5. We are here, one of the messiest. It's quite messy, to be honest. And I'm also eating. I should stop eating, actually. I'm recording and eating. Guess I'll never know. No, wait. Let's move along. So what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think that it's gonna get messier. I think the prosecution is confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. A different suspect was arrested at the same time at each of the crime scene. Nana, good morning, Mr. Wright. Apology for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for a question. We just finished actually. I'm used to all-nighters now. So how did it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I am as much in the dark about this as they are. This guy? We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department. Belonged to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact. There's a trump card I have up my sleeve today. Do you understand what it means, do you? Don't you? In order to defend my sister, you are going to accuse Mr. Marshall. You have to play the cards we are dealt. Isn't that right, Mrs. Sky? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... Actually, okay. What the... I'm afraid you have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I heard the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Adler's car. Oh, this is one of the messed up trials. One of my duties as a prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. That's what sets Mr. Edward apart. He sounds so on top of things. Even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. What's supposed to be an admiral trait? Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Miss Edward, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. Suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Murderer? Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. It is. There we go, Mr. Mackins. Would the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir, I am Officer Mike Mackins. Sir, my occupation is, that will be murder, sir! Oh, so you are telling us you are a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You got to believe me, sir. Oh, actually, what we like to hear from you is... Sir, I'm what you will call a part of the younger generation, sir. Fucking hell. A person whose action adults can possibly comprehend. Sir? Please, Miss Edgeworth. Sir, please help me, sir. Sergeant Mackins. Yes, sir? Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I'm part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Okay. Although it is not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out. Till another officer smacked me awake. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meckings family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin his cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. The info is insane. To be honest, I'm not even sure if he can help you. Mr. Meckings, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I am in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes. Now there's a scary thought. Yikes, indeed. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant when the officer were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the chief of detectives, sir. Also, I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transfer process. That was my sole mission of the day, sir. Okay. I see. Sounds like a very important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? I spotted a suspicious man. I just saw press. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely so. I have one right here around my neck. So then your ID number should be listed here, right? So this guy. Identification? Yes, makes sense. There it is, I found it. It's the one on the right, here. Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir. It's 4989556. That's my number, sir. I see. But the number 9896. It shows being used twice. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. First time when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to get him after everything settled down. See, so it was during that second time one? Yes, sir. That was when I spotted a man on the security camera. I was only doing my job. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir. A knife. Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you? What happened then? Well, with me charging into him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. I aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you just keep your cool, your hand wouldn't be. When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought for my life, then I did it. After that I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. This is what he was telling us yesterday. Well, we need to try and skim some more details from him, Rosaldo. Officer from the General Affairs Department doing there in the first place. Right, expressing more. Follow his words. Press. Inspector, you work in the General Affairs. You know? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring. Oh. Yeah, we already did this. Let's go skip this very quickly. Okay. Police reported officer that I woke up the witness. It was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you record it is. When I came around though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. The mission? Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. Returning him to the entrance before things go out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. That's what he was telling us yesterday. Well, we need to try skim some more details from him status. Did I you ever arrest this? What exactly do you mean you did it? I know I don't look the type, I'm really into kung fu films, sir. I wanna punch you in the face, Mickens. The man let his gun down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife. Spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. Make sure you close my eyes like a man. MC. He must have been desperate. Desperate. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in sea of blood. And the next thing I knew, yes, he punched me right in my face, sir. Permitting me not to have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor, only one thing remains unclear. Was the man of the murder really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Mackins. With regards to that, sir. Take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gunn delivered it to me just this morning, sir. Chief? Delivered it? What is that, a videotape? Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera into the evidence room. Why? What? But I specifically asked it if there was such tape. I was told it has been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. Just what I'm told, sir. And the only thing I'm really good at. Looks like communication with police department is good as ever. Yes, massive. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Well, let's get the popcorns, guys. We're gonna see Mackins killing somebody. Oh, please stop using that word, murder, sir. It scares me. Oh well. A video of a real murder, just what are we getting ourselves into? He's a magician. Like, whoa. You could have showed the detective attacked him, so it should be considered self-defense, by the way. I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings still within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of pile of wood? Any moment. So that is the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's a blue blotcher, bro. Why I'm not surprised this is not going smoothly. Yes, well anyway, this tape seems to prove that witches indeed encounter someone. Okay. Or instead of relying on clear incomplete footage, this witness testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Mackins? Okay. Yes, sir, as you wish, sir. Not every need to do moment. His face can be clearly seen in the video. There's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman fingerprints to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. It must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. Okay, that's interesting. What's this about a fingerprint? The detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. The locker is sure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean that the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. Defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead. But everything begins with a contradiction. That's where I have to start. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. Man's face. Sir! If I may say something, sir. Please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint. It was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Try to check the court record again. I think there is a problem. Got a video containing this video. There is one thing particularly that seems rather strange. This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edward. First, we have the defense point out us this alleged contradiction in the video. He will want me to point it out. He will want me to point it out. Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I remember I got stuck in here. I will not play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. Have to point out the problem in the video? This is the first time I ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. I set up, you can... sorry. Fast forward, the rewind, or pause video. Okay. Okay. Let's take a good look at sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? That time, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the... Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. The thing that is strange about this video has got to be this, Officer Mackins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? As I understand, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads for your fingerprints if it is a match. Light is on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's why I understand it is. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. But the victim reaches the handle to open the locker. Let's rewind to a little earlier. I don't have control. Here, notice the light. It's already lit! Yep. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Order! Order! What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. Objection! But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When the door is shut, the sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Well, no. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. It's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well, just goes to show novice should keep their mouth shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Maybe something like jammed the system sensor. Something like jammed the system sensor? There's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so, too. Could be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked. Wait, dude, that scared the shit out of me. How do I rewind?
Take that!
Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. My god. Do I have to rewatch it? Can I speed it up? No, I can do it. Yeah, the music is off now. Jesus Christ. Ooh, what's this? Something white fell out of the locker. Oh, sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are open.
Objection!
What the fuck? I even had a second to read what she said. What he said, sorry. It's so quick. You can be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? Oh my god, you're replaying the whole thing again? Are you serious? This white thing was inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 or 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my control vehicle, sir. Instead of those, well, we got it. But the object will have to extremely thin to fit into the door. Not only that, it will also have to block electrical currents. It will need to be an insulator. Oh yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene. There just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator, I think I finally got this figured out. Very well, will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that we were talking about?
Take that!
I found this near the locker. I think rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was the victim locked it. Your sex says that's a 9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But isn't the case? The lit lamps attest to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meggins? Sir, it appears so, sir. Order! Order! So are we to believe that the victim of this witness stabbed in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Miss Edward? The defense has merely demonstrated the possibility that and nothing more, that the victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove to this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Yes, sir. I'm not sure what you are referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well, begin your testimony. There's one other thing proves that the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When the ID card is used, there is a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. Did he use after 5:14? Is that of the victim? Just before the crime? Yes, without a doubt, he's the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me unusual. About 100 cases should have been due for transfer. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police stuff. Just hearing that makes me hair stands on to the end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now let us move on to cross-examination. Mystery man. There's one other thing that proves that man was indeed. Well, there's a problem. We found ID.
Objection!
Wait a moment, Officer Matkins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I had the victim ID right here. I found that in the crime scene. That makes sense? When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I've had one more piece of evidence to present. Very important clue regarding the victim ID card. A lost item report? It's only half complete, but it shows that the Daddy Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out his report. Let me guess. He believed this something to be this ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there's a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order! Order! So, now what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Mackins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather a man who stole his ID card. Order! Order! Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo? Allow me to summarize the defense argument. At 4:15 on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Mackins' encounter was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is... Well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your fingers around. Isn't going to end well. Well, I think you finally realized. Tell me what you are going to such length to prove. Tell yourself, Mr. Ardler. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is fake, which means a murder did not take place. At the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place on one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murder being Miss Lana Sky, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. Trustworthy witness. Observe the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Yikes. We just prove our client to be guilty. I mean, the testing was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Mackins encountered, and where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else, Lana. What do we do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Object?
Objection!
A moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Now tell me you're objecting to what you are just proven. Of course not, but I almost walked right into the prosecution trap. What are you talking about? This first examination has proven one thing, and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. You see that? However, it cannot be said that he is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Statistically, a large amount of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edward? Yes, Your Honor? If it is court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. You have not prepared any other witness for this incident. It just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Yes, Chuck Norris. Your Honor, the defense might request specific incidents. What do you have in mind? Come on, we have a reasonably know the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well, then, Mr. Wright. First of all, you would like to have testify what is his or her name.
Take that!
Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edward know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room, Phil, right? I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. He shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The call will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subordinate. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. There's no stopping you in there, Mr. Wright. What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. See me, you'll figure everything out. Haven't figured anything out. He's messy as hell. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. Right. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Didn't you trust us? Did you trust me? How am I not to be anything, pals? Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Goodbye. Hey, Detective Amateur, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while I'm duty. And the operative of you call me here. I've seen happier people at the funerals. Sorry, Detective. You better be. Wait, hey! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. Wait, what? Okay, so you brought what I asked? Oh! You mean this, right? Apology, Detective, due to my present circumstances. I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years I would have thought it was you who asked me. But I bothered you to bring me the SL9 incident files. I need them by noon. Don't go crazy. SL9 incident? What? Balana, that's... But Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. You might do as well read them. I believe you, the Chief Prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? SL9 incident files received from Lana Sky. Even for me, you don't want anything to do with this serial analysis. Nervous? Oh, what? That I brought you stuff? You're just gonna ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name here? My name is here? In there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be Lana. This SL9 incident, is that? That's the classification number the police filled in under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it was Joe Darky killings. The Joe Darky? No, Lana. That's over with. No! And she just fainted. Okay. Emma, wait! She ran away. No, she ran away? I thought she fainted. Oh, you know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. I just wanna deal with this shit. Sorry about I'm out of here. Big Marshall, Angel Star, Diamond Gun, Miles Edward. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This cannot be just a coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. Better take a good look at this file. Double continue. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna end this episode right now, right here. I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna get a hell of a mess here. A hell of a mess here. And if you enjoy, feel free to leave a like or subscribe, and as usual. And stay potato-y. And take care of yourself. Good, lovely.